Welcome, 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 my favorite legionaries of Alyssa's Legion. And today we have a really special show. We are doing the top 30 biggest open world video games ranked by size. And I know right now you will be saying, but Alyssa, there's lots of sites already doing that out there. And you are correct. But there are two good reasons why we are doing this now. One, time ever marches on. It is 2021. New games have come out. Two, and this is the most important part, a lot of these sites, they don't do a particularly good job, okay? They don't define their rules up front. They're allowing all sorts of oddballs to get into the mix. And more importantly, I don't agree with some of their numbers. So let's talk about what my process is. First and foremost, the rules. We're not doing space games. I love space games, but Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, Star Wars Online, you name it. Yeah, you've got 18 quintillion planets. I get it. You win. If we allow space games into the mix here, then pretty much the top 10 is going to be all space games. So let's just keep that out there, okay? This has to be a free roaming, open world, terrestrial style game. One map, one world. Okay, those are our parameters. And there has to be a sense of freedom. Second rule, I can't just rely upon one source, including the publishers themselves. Some publishers lie, Bethesda, about their map sizes. So we need multiple collaborating sources, and that's how I went about this. If I saw one source with a large number and I saw 12 sources with a much smaller number that were all around the same, well, those 12 are going to be correct, even if it's contrary to what the game publisher themselves are saying. One note on this before we get into it. Some of these maps are very hard to prove, okay? And like there's no material information on them. And because of that, there's going to be a couple of maps I'm going to say up front that I just didn't get reliable information on. And so I kind of cut them out of the mix. I'm going to mention them because I don't want you there going, yes, but what about? I'm going to tell you what about by covering the name up front. Secondly, and related to that, we have about 10 games where you are going to expect to see them mentioned. They don't make the top 30, okay? The top 30 starts at 31 square miles, and there's a lot of games that have less than that. A lot of games that you may think should be in the top 30, okay? So I'm going to cover them to demonstrate why they're not. Special mentions right now up front, Arena by Bethesda. It's a little bit of an older title. This thing is meant to have something like 3.5 million square miles or something like that, according to Bethesda. But not only have they exaggerated some of their map sizes previously, they've got a track record of doing so, but I could find no other reliable sources that really gave me any indication for how large Arena was. So I have to nix it, right? Just got to do it. Additionally, Uncharted Waters, I couldn't find Uncharted Waters New Horizon, I should say. It looks like a great game, by the way. In my research, I was like, I should be playing this game, but couldn't find any details on it. Fallout 4, that game, I'm going to mention it in my list here. Actually, I probably won't because I'm talking about it now. But Fallout 4, I saw this resource that was talking about 43 square miles, and honestly, bollocks. Bollocks. No, it's not, because they were talking about interior square footage as well. Interior areas. Come on, it's hard enough to actually just get the main map size in some of these instances without going into interior spaces as well. And that starts to get extremely speculative. So rule 3, we're not counting interior space areas, okay? And lastly, at least in the category of really couldn't nail down some sizes, Silent Hunter. I've seen it mentioned before. Well, what about Silent Hunter? Well, you know, good game. I like the game. Don't get me wrong. It's based on the real world. It has different sizes than the real world. Real world is a globe. Flat earthers, get out of here. But I couldn't get the dimensions down, and I was following this math heavy conversation on a couple of different sites, and I was like, you know what, I'm nixing Silent Hunter. You can't get out the sub and start, like, you know, walking around on the land. something about it feels off. And if we include Silent Hunter, we have to include every single naval game. So for now, I'm just going to push them to one side. We'll do that in a future video. All right, so honorable mentions now, and I'm just going to quickly run through them as to why they don't make the top 30. Metal Gear Solid 5 is actually our smallest one. The Phantom Pain comes in at 6 square miles. Far Cry 4, 11 square miles. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, 14 square miles. Fallout 76, nice effort, bigger size, but only 16 square miles. You don't make the cut. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, 16 square miles. It's like 15.8, something like that. Horizon Zero Dawn, 16-ish. It's 4 miles across, according to the developers. People have been doing a lot of sort of analysis on what the actual map size is. It comes around 16-ish. It's nowhere near making the cut. It's out. 7 Days to Die. I love 7 Days to Die. If you do a random generated map at a large map size, you're going to hit about 24 square miles. So it's a little shy of the 31 that we're looking for. PlayerUnknown's Battleground, 25 square miles. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I know there are people out there waiting for this one to come up. Sorry, guys and girls, doesn't make the cut. There's 1 or 2 sites. It's mainly one. It was like on Reddit. Someone did an analysis. It came out like 160 square kilometers or something like that. Poppycock. Further analysis puts it more in the range of 23 to 32. So it's a big map. It looks like a great map, but it doesn't hit our top 30. It gets close, but doesn't count. Burnout Paradise, 26 square miles. Assassin's Creed Rogue, 27 square miles. And lastly, for the ones that did not make the cut, and this one might surprise you, Red Dead Redemption 2. An incredible game, incredible map, 29 square miles, just fell short. So with that said, and without further ado, let's start getting into our top 30. Come in and get to 30 and position 29 at the same time, because both of them are in at 31 square miles. Far Cry 2 and Assassin's Creed Origins, 31 square miles. Position 28, Dragon Age Inquisition at 45 square miles. Position 27, Grand Theft Auto 5, map size 49 square miles. And I know you were looking for Grand Theft Auto 5. Great game, good sized map. Position 26, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It had to be here, right? 54 square miles of incredible terrain. What a wonderful game. Position 25, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This is one of our first ones where, yes, a lot of it is water, but that was kind of the point. Get on your ship, sail around, and actually start, like, you know, wrecking shop. 55 square miles. Position 24, World of Warcraft, our first MMO, 80 square miles. Position 23, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, 84.5 square miles. Position 22, DayZ, just edging out The Witcher with 86.9 square miles. And the last of the top 20 here, we've got, or I guess the top 30, we've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, also obviously another water one, but you can absolutely explore those water areas. Map size, 91 square miles. Now, into our top 20. At position 20, Arma 3, with a map size of 104 square miles. Coming in 19, Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising, 135 square miles. Now, disclaimer, position 18, 17, and 16 all have 154 square miles, so they all share equal honors here. XENOBLADE Chronicles 10, Elder Scrolls Online, and Black Desert Online are all at 154 square miles. That puts us in at position 15, which is taken by Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands at 172 square miles. Position 14, True Crime, Streets of LA. This is not a game I'm actually familiar with, and apparently it's got a freaking huge map at 240 square miles. I'm actually now curious about what that game's about. Position 13, EverQuest Online. The glorious, the legendary EverQuest. 298, almost 300 square miles. Position 12, Just Cause 3. 400 square miles. The gaps are just getting bigger and bigger here. Position 11, Death Stranding. 529 square miles. That makes you wonder about the top 10, right? So let's get into this. Without further ado, drum roll, please. Position 10, Test Drive Unlimited 2 at 618 square miles. Position 9, Final Fantasy 15, 700 whopping square miles. One of my favorites, I played the heck out of it back in the day. Position 8, Asheron's Call. There's an old MMO. 804 square miles. Position 7, The Crew. Now, about 1,900 to 2,000 square miles. The Crew features 5 regions, 6 main cities, over 30 smaller towns and cities in the countryside, and it takes 45 minutes alone in real time to drive from coast to coast in the game. It's a huge game. Position 5, Fuel, another driving game. 5,500 square miles. We're beginning to get ridiculous, folks. But now we hit the top 5. At position number 5, Guild Wars Nightfall. 15,000 square miles. Position 4. This is a classic. The Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. A whopping 62,000 square miles. It included 15,000 cities, towns, villages, and dungeons for the players to explore. And the map is often compared to Great Britain because this just falls shy of being the same size. At position 3, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, before I get into the square miles, some of you may be going, "Oh, come on, a flight sim." But let's analyze this. Microsoft created a simulator where you could get in a plane, fly anywhere in the world, and literally land that plane outside your own house if you wanted to. It's a stunning piece of technology, and we have to acknowledge the entire freaking world is in it. And because of that, 196.9 million square miles. Microsoft Flight Simulator takes number 3 spot, and I think that's fair. Now, I think you would object a lot more if it was a number 1 spot, but it's not, which means 2 games are larger. At the number 2 spot, and some of you may not have even heard of this game, World War II Online. 135,000 square miles. Hold on. That makes Microsoft Flight Simulator number 2, World War II Online number 3. I would edit that out, but I'm just going to own that. I'm going to own that one right now because we're so close to the number 1 position. Sorry, Microsoft. For some reason, I thought 196 million was smaller than 135,000. So my bad. World War II Online. Get back. You're at the number 3 spot. Without any further ado, number one of the biggest open world video games by size, terrestrial maps, Minecraft. Minecraft has the largest land-based open world to explore out of this list by far. The world of Minecraft is like maybe 1.5 billion square miles. And that, by the way, when you compare it to Earth, which is 197, is way, way, way larger. It puts it more in a hemisphere of something like Neptune. It is huge. So terrestrial based, one world, can walk around, sense of freedom. Minecraft takes top honors. That, ladies and gents, is our top 30 biggest open world video games maps by size. If you've had fun with this video and enjoyed the content, please consider hitting me with a like below. If you disagree with some of the things that I've said, I'd love to hear it. Let me know what you think should have made this list. Post your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to see more of this type of thing, maybe just nurture that little subscribe button just a touch. Until the next one, everyone, have a great one, and I will see you on the flip side.